What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to episode 50 of the Ketchup podcast, all in together now, featuring the MKP family with your host, Lofton, aka Mr. Hayes Adonis. And I got my co-host, Rajim, in the building.
Mr. Make It Happen all day long.
And we need some Jesus, so we got Reverend C in the building.
Good evening, and God bless every one of you.
And last but not least, we got a wonderful guest that's here to visit with us. We got Will in the building.
What's up?
Going on? And AKA the perspective, maybe in and out, because she is I don't know, she's Ubering, she's driving back from somewhere, she in the car, but she may jump in and drop some dimes on us real quick in and out of the show. So it's been wonderful, man. Roz, talk to me. How was your week?
Man, hey, bro, it's been a good week, man, for real.
Let's work, huh?
You know what I'm saying? Let's work, dog. Hey, I'm telling you, Mr. Make It used to make it happen. No more bounce houses. I'm about to just about to launch these trailers, man, these gaming trucks, and bruh. Other than that, man, it's been a good week, man. I got 6 days, dog.
How the Patriots during the draft, though?
Hey, the Patriots did their thing, though. Okay. Patriots did their thing. Shout out to Jalen Carter. Straight up out of, you know what I'm saying, Central Florida out of here, you know what I'm saying? Good friend of mine's nephew. I seen him at the combine. They was representing, you know what I'm saying? So Jalen Carter, I think Jalen Carter went to the Eagles.
Philly.
Yeah, he went to the Eagles. So I'm proud of him, man. But shout out to all them young men, man, that's doing their thing. And a real quick shout out. I'm gonna tell y'all this right now, because I probably won't get to say this later on the show. Mm-hmm. That dude Will, that dude Will gonna have at least 3 kids in the NFL draft. All day, guarantee. Hey, real talk, guarantee you. I coach his kids. Believe me, he's gonna have at least 3 kids in the NFL draft. Believe me.
That's what's up, y'all. Hey, you gonna ride the wave too, homie. You gonna ride the wave.
I'm gonna be in the screen just like this.
Look. He said, "I'm at the draft party."
Yeah, you see, you gonna ride the wave. We're gonna push it together.
Yeah, no doubt, man. But like I said, shout out to them young men, man, that worked hard.
That's what's up.
Yeah, that's hard work, man. You know what I'm saying? I know when is the combine? Well, I mean, sorry, the draft was over today, or is it over tomorrow?
It was over yesterday. So
yes, okay, yeah. So
4 through 7 finished on Saturday.
Okay. Well, shout out to them young men, man, that work hard, man. Them young men, people think it's just easy to go. You got talent, you go to NFL and get drafted, man. It ain't that easy. You know what I'm saying? It's not, you just go run a couple laps and you fast and you make it into the NFL. And you got to think most of these young men have become instant millionaires. They've changed their families' lives. They changed the narrative of a lot of their families, man, and this means a lot. So, coming from me on the Men Ketchup, go out there, man, and make y'all families proud, man. Don't do nothing crazy. Saying give back to the community, inspire these young men and other young men and women that's doing big things. So like I said, shout out to all the young men that got drafted for this year's NFL class, man. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Also, I want to. Hey, Will, you coming to the show. This is your first time on the show. Tell the people a little bit about yourself and how you doing this week.
It's been a good week. Little work here and there. I got a little busy week. I'm first off, let me start off by saying, I'm from Miami, so that's why I got this hat on. So clearly, me and Raz, we kind of hit it off right there. Oh yeah, throw up the U on them. Yes, sir. Yeah. And I met Raz. Actually, I met Raz. He was, like he said, he was coaching my boys. Actually, I met him because he coached one of my boys' good friends, Kyron, and he was and Kyron is his son. So they hit it off. And then once I met him through my boys, that's how me and him kind of like built that connection. And I want to give a shout out to Raz, because Raz is that's a hell of a dude there, man. That dude, I've met a lot of people in my life, and I've come to learn that it's very few men who spread the wealth and give the answers to the test like he do. You know what I mean? Like that man, that's a good man, brother. Like that man, he steps up. He he's always a good friend, and that man always step up, man. So I met him through my kids, and it was a blessing, you know. So I'm
Appreciate
glad
it,
I
bro.
met this
Appreciate
guy,
it.
you know. And he's
Hey,
the guy that's gonna be he's the guy that's gonna be the reason I changed my life. So I got to
Yeah.
give him that shout out, you know.
Look. You ain't had to do all that to get back on the show. I mean, like, I've known him longer than you, so you ain't had to do all that to get back on the show.
Hey, the crazy part about it is I've known Clayson longer than everybody. So
Right.
it's like I know Clayson maybe 40 years of my life. I
Man,
know
look.
Hayes about 20-something years of my life. And I know Will about 3 years of my life. So hey, you know what I'm saying? It's always good you have good people in your life, bro, for real.
Yeah.
God put people in your life for a reason.
That's right.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So, hey, Rev, man, how was the sermon today, man? Talk to us. How was your week been going?
Hey man, the week was great, man. And it ended off began actually today with a great message and a great word, man. And understanding, who we are as people, man. First of all, and I want to go back, just like Rajim did, man. Shout out to all of the fellas that were drafted, and those who will go on to be signed, those trades and everything that are made, man. God puts us in places where we can be effective and effective about the calling that He has actually given us, man. And it's a very small group of people. I know everybody aspires to be, especially in our community, you hear a whole bunch of people that are aspire to be, professional athletes or musicians, and then not everybody makes it, man. Some and I always heard, man, some called, some went, some sent. A lot of people go, but there's only a few people that were called. So shout out to everybody who was drafted, man. Go do some big things. I also want to shout out the 2 young men out of Pensacola, Florida, that have gone in the NFL, man. And I'm gonna tell you, because I'm getting old and I'm a preacher, I don't remember names straight up. Pine Forest High School and Escambia High School represented big time in the NFL draft. Maryland and Iowa, excuse me. And that's a great deal. But everybody that went, man, like Rajim said, go make the best of yourselves. Go do something big for your families and do that. But after that, man, I'm saying, man, God is really, really good. He puts us in positions, just like Brother Will has said, man. The 4 of us, our common thread on this podcast is Rajim, man. Rajim has always been a dude that doesn't meet a stranger, number one, and that is real deal. And you get what you get when you meet my brother, man. So between you get what you get. I mean, hate it or love it, like it, whatever it is, you get what you get. But the dude is 100. He's 100, and that's why he's my brother. Me, him, and D, man, made a connection, like you said, about 40 years ago, man. And it's a lifelong connection. And so, when people say stuff about him, nobody is surprised, not amongst those of us that actually know him. So, and I met some solid brothers, man. Lofton is above
don't
board.
say anything positive about me. I'm trash. Look, we don't.
This not your moment, nigga. This ain't your moment. This ain't your moment, nigga.
Put it all on him, man.
I was coming.
This is my moment. Let me
right.
I'm just the host. Just look. That's all Razim.
Shut it down. But I'm talking about above board brothers, man, that we can sit and have a conversation, whether it's centered around music or centered around life or centered around circumstances, man. But we can actually sit in a room or sit on a podcast and actually have true conversations and real deal things about life. And our common thread being a brother in music and the whole 9 yards. We all love it. With that said,
because I mean, this soliloquy could go on forever.
You can, because I'm a Baptist preacher.
I love them too, and I know you was about to rock into your new sermon. You gonna pull the notes out. You gonna say, turn to chapter.
Yeah.
Like I was like,
in Genesis chapter 1. Let's say that. I'm just saying.
So what we gonna do?
Yes, sir.
Keep it pushing, because we all love Rob, and we want to make sure that we get to sit down and talk about this, because that's what we're here to do on the show. So we're gonna get that riding right now. But we're going to start it off one thing. We're going to have a little communion, because it's time for the drink of the day.
Let's go.
Hey. All right. So I'll go ahead and start getting it knocked out over with. We had a little, get together with some of my co-workers and whatnot. They came through, kicked
Getting that
it.
good old water.
And we made a little mango peach jungle juice. So I got the fruits that been fermenting up in that joint.
Of your
and
label.
We had so much left over that I just refilled 2 liters. we got like 2 of them joints. So hey, I'm gonna be on this jungle juice for a minute. This may be a couple shows. That I'm on this jungle juice. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour mine up. Now, Raheem, since you decided to put in all the effort in the finale to now put out a video and talk about how I made it and did all this other stuff, I'm gonna give you all the time in the world to explain what you did today.
So listen, man. Hey, the reason why I went in today, because like I said, it's a grand finale, and I'm gonna start doing the right thing. So
it'll be the same every day,
yeah,
sir.
Yeah. So yeah, I know. So from now on, I'm gonna be making a drink if I'm gonna make a drink. So listen. So this week I set up my dang on I got my man cave. I don't know if y'all can see. Wait, I don't know if y'all can see my man. Wait a minute. Yeah, my man cave. I'm working on it. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, man, I'm putting me a little bar in my man cave and blah blah blah. So it's summertime in Florida right now.
Oh,
whether you want to, So what I did was I got some of that summer watermelon from Ciroc. You know what I'm saying? Summer watermelon. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
So listen, then I went and got me some cran watermelon. Oh,
Okay.
let's go with it. You feel me?
Right.
You see where this is going? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Then I went and got me some real
actual watermelon.
What?
Oh, damn.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Oh,
So
damn.
listen. And so what I did was I took the watermelon, man. I crushed it up. You know what I'm saying? How they call it in the drink world. Crushed it up in the bottom of there. You know what I'm saying? Then I added a couple chunks of watermelon.
There you go.
Took me 2 shots of the Ciroc. You know what I'm saying? 2 part Ciroc, 3 part cran watermelon.
Yep.
And I like to call it that watermelon crush. That's what
You know what I'm gonna call it?
What?
I'm gonna say, hey, I'm gonna call that the stereotype. I say, get you a bucket of chicken.
That's all you missing. Y'all talking about me earlier this week.
Hey, listen.
Damn.
I'm just messing with you,
Hey,
man.
look.
I like that.
If you wasn't, hey, look, if you wasn't,
Look, after we got to like the second watermelon thing,
I know
I
you.
gotta say this. I gotta say this.
All I heard was about 4-5 watermelons in that
Yeah,
hole.
right.
Yeah.
All I needed was a piece of chicken. It was over.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Get some Popeyes and
Right.
But not even Popeyes, churches. You gotta go straight to church.
Us back. I mean, hey, bro, you setting us back right here. Like,
Raz, call them up. Call Popeye. Tell them make some watermelon biscuits.
Yeah.
Watermelon biscuits.
hey, man, that sounds
Yo,
fantastic.
I'm calling this that watermelon crush.
That
You know what I'm
watermelon
saying?
crush in the building.
Hey, when I say it's fire, bro, fire.
There it is. So we got the mango peach jungle juice. Then we got the watermelon crush with 8 levels of watermelon in it.
You know what I'm saying?
So talk to me.
There's levels to this shit.
So all right, talk to me, Rev. Tell me what you popping off in right
Hey
now.
man, anybody who has ever been to the Sunday school convention, or anybody who's ever been to a church anniversary or the barbecue where everybody elected to bring the plates instead of bringing a dish, you already understand. You already understand what I'm about to say.
Only
Man,
in the South, though.
Yeah.
Ain't got those up north, but only
You
in
understand
the
what I'm saying? That only in the South. Hey man, listen, I'm about to hit y'all with an old school classic. I'm telling y'all that the drink of the day today is going to be that old Czech. It's the Czech Country Mix. Listen, brought to you by the Rev C and the church convention. This is what's going down. We're gonna pour it.
Hey, Lofton. That's blacker than my drink, man.
And your local neighborhood barbecue.
And the neighborhood barbecue.
The folks, for those that are up north and may not know, that's the equivalent to some Sam's Cola.
Yeah,
that's like if you was at Walmart, you better get that Sam's.
The only drink worse than that is
Sprite on a budget is what it is. It's Sprite on a budget.
On a budget. There we go.
Fago legit, dog. What you talking about?
Fago, the next day, the best day to check, man.
Hey, Fago is a can of sugar in liquid form. That's what it is.
It's diabetes. It's actually a diabetes prescription.
It'll hurt your throat. That got like
Yeah.
so much daggone carbon in that mud.
It come with insulin.
Wrapped on the side of the 12 pack. So, well, all right. So we brought us back to the check, old school. So you can probably find that. Just get whatever brand that your grocery store is made of, and you ain't never heard of. That's probably the equal to what check is. So you can find that anyway.
Yeah, listen. If you are in the Panhandle, find you a Piggly Wiggly or a Dale Champs
or a Barnes
or on your grandma attic.
Right.
Wiggly.
Hey, listen, if you could name 5 flavors right now, we'll send you damn gift to your house. You got cream.
Look at that. Dude, cream, crabs, and check soda.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
That's how they be doing it out there.
Oh, hey, that's my sister Carletta. Carletta loves them check.
Hey,
my sister, tell her peach all day. She's talking about Duval.
I can't mess with them checks, boy. Lord,
I know my sister love that peach.
I can't do the check sodas. Lord, them things is too sweet. God,
it's a special occasion, bro.
With that watermelon shit he got right
there. Listen, hold on. That's the reason I got 40 ounces of ice cold water behind it, because I don't want to go to the doctor after.
Oh yeah. Well, you might well to get COVID.
All right. Well, we got the watermelon crush. We done got the jungle juice, peach, mango. We got the check soda. So Will, you know what I'm saying? Bring us back from the check, man. Talk to me. Give me something. Give me something good out here.
All right, I've been trying some IPAs. I don't know if y'all familiar with those, but I've been trying different IPAs lately. Okay. And I found this. I was trying the one that was I had a Voodoo. I was on the Voodoo for the last 2 days, and then I saw this one that said Tropical Bear Hug. And that's exactly what it did.
Okay, all right.
That's exactly what it did.
Had you leaning and rocking with it.
Yes, I am.
First of all, you got a tropical bear hug.
Yes, tropical. Hey, I don't know how you mix tropical and bear hug together, but they did.
Look, I wasn't going. Maybe I'm just feeling, you know what I'm saying, freaking season finale out here, man. But as soon as you say IPA. And I was like, hey, I don't want to do no colorism out here. But I was like, man, that's a nice game.
You say what?
I mean, like, I don't know too many brothers that write the IPAs.
But he just said you just told him to bring it back from the watermelon.
Hey, the IPAs, man.
He brought it all the way back.
Yeah, that's all.
I had to.
In case y'all didn't know. Hey, so in case y'all didn't know, I'm gonna put this out there. Your boy Will is he Puerto Rican too. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's why.
All right.
Yeah.
Hit that sauce on them.
Yeah.
All right.
He Puerto Rican too.
That's what I'm talking about.
They got something to do with that, right?
And I was a bartender too. I bartended at Howl at the Moon, so I learned about a lot of different beers and different drinks. So I mean, it's not really too many drinks that I ain't thought of or made my damn self.
Okay, we got another one. All right, Roz. Why ain't you been calling him for drinks of the day, man?
I have, but he be working.
Yeah, he actually called me a couple times. I done stood him up a couple times.
He's like, hey, man, I'm at work, bro.
Look, now I'm gonna blame it on Will. Why you got the watermelon on watermelon?
Hey, bro, when I tell you this,
you heard me. I was like, whoa, wait a minute, whoa.
You would have stopped him on that. You were like, all right, let me tell you,
breaks up. Listen, this where it breaks up at. When you got the crayon in there.
No, it didn't break it up. No,
bro, you can't put the word crayon in that.
You look at that. You look at the way they did that. Crayon was mad tiny. Watermelon, they spelled that all the way.
Yeah, he had to. Listen, wait a minute. He had to turn the bottle around to get to the rest of the watermelon. Crayon does not break that up. I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry.
Listen, don't be a hater. Congratulations. You know what I'm saying? If y'all taste it, you be like, damn, that's fire.
It's probably fire. But I'm I'm not drinking it in public.
It's fire. Oh, I'm gonna tell you, don't play that shit. I drink this shit right now. And
hey, you show me a check, I shut up. Everybody show me a check soda, I shut up. All right, then.
I got check soda downstairs while you playing.
Good. But everybody out there, man, drink of the day. Enjoy. If y'all heard anything that was out there that we have and you want to get the recipe for it, or if you watch the video that Roz put out of how he made it, I can send that to you to be able to make that jungle juice. He got like all type of liquors in it. Of course, you can find you some Huggy Bear IPAs, or just go to your local. Go to your local. Go to your local. You know what I'm saying? Winn-Dixie, Piggly Wiggly, Southern grocery store, man, and get you some checks, man.
Yeah, I'm
you know
saying?
That's right.
So that's how we doing it right now. So
that's why they call it check, because you drink too many of them, bitch. You might get checked on.
We're about to check his blood sugar.
Check that sugar.
Right.
We're about to check the blood sugar is what we're gonna have to do.
You got a nurse on deck, baby.
Yeah. You gonna need a check to get.
Well, we about to keep it pushing, everybody. We moving on to the news of the week, and there's been some interesting things that that's happened over the last few days since we've been off of here. So, like I said, of course, this is episode 50. We got some news out here, unfortunate news, but also, you know, saying a blessing as well. We had Harry Belafonte, 96 years old, passed away. He was a barrier-breaking singer, actor, and activist. Those that made no songs like Deo, that was that man that did his thing. He also was one of the stars of Island in the Sun, came out in 1957. It was actually one of those that got somewhat banned in the South because it insinuated that there was a relationship between a black man and a white woman during that time frame. So they actually, theaters in the South were actually putting fines and bans on theaters if they showed this movie. Also, he was a like I said, activist, long-time friend and supporter of Dr. King. He was a person that did a lot for our time frame as folks were trying to get equal rights in the South all over. Helped out the Southern Christians Leadership Conference and things of that nature. So it was one of those things to hear that he had passed. We lost a great one, a great person, a great singer, a great actor, a great activist, and was all about his people pushing forward during that time frame. So, Roz, have you heard about Harry Belafonte's passing? And was there anything that he had done or that affected you or affected your parents? You know what I'm saying, during the time frame that he was alive?
Yeah, man. So, you know, I listen to my parents listen, of course, listen to my mom. I know my mom did listen to Harry Belafonte. And first of all, condolences to the family. And, you know, I look at men like him and I wonder in our generation or the generation that's coming up behind us, who is going to be that person? You know what I'm saying? Who's going to be that person that, you know, broke barriers? And that's exactly what he did. He broke barriers, you know, and he wasn't scared to break barriers. I mean, I could imagine in that day and time how scary the production was when they created something of the sense of a black man and a white woman being together. You know, that had to be a scary situation to bring that to the forefront. You know what I'm saying? But for him to break those barriers and say, like, you know what, I'm going to do this, whether y'all like it or not, because people were dying back then because of stuff like that. You see what happened to, you know, Emmett Till, just by somebody saying, you know, a black man tried to do something to a white woman. So for, like I said, in that day and time, you know, it had to be a situation where it was scary to bring it to the forefront, and you know, for him to move forward and be as successful as he was, is an amazing feat. You know, and I do think, and you know, and maybe this is something I can ask you guys. You know, I feel like who in our time frame, and not even behind us, in our time, you know, we all between, I would say 30 to 50. You know what I'm saying? But who in our time frame is that person that breaks those barriers, that were activists, that actors, you know, people that came in to do this? I mean, you know, just a all around person that's gonna break down the barriers for our kids, you know what I'm saying, to look at later on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, Will, was there anything in that situation? We'll get to that question after if you have anything to say about Harry Belafonte, and then we'll go to Rev C on his words, and then we'll try to answer that question on, you know, who is that person of our time frame? So, Will, go ahead.
Well, first of all, I've only known him for like as far as his music, and I did know some of his accolades as far as what he did for his community, for the Black community as well. I didn't know as much as I should know, so I'm kind of being educated as I go right now. This conversation kind of just educated me on how much he done, but I do know that he was an important figure in the movement. You know, I do know that much, and I do know that it's men like him that, like Raz said, that we just, like he said, I don't have too many men that I can refer to that I can say that, you know, took that place, that took that initiative to bring us all together. Because I get along with everybody, so I kind of agree with Raz on that. Like, who's going to be that guy? You know, because that's what I'm getting from that guy. He was just a bridge for everyone. You know.
Very much so. Go ahead, Reverend C. What inspired you, or what did you see of Harry Belafonte around you that could affected you or affected your parents?
Let me say this, man. I'm gonna tell you, man. First of all, shout out to one of the greatest, man. I mean, an activist in his own right. You know, one guy that has been involved in quite a bit of stuff, and broke barriers in all manners of the business, not just music. Just his activism, and as far as, you know, the worldwide. You've seen him act, you've seen him sing, but behind the March on Washington, behind all kinds and all manners of things, man, this guy was an activist, and he actually lived a life that represented great things as far as people of color, Black people are concerned. So, you know, he lived a full life, man. A man into his 90s, you know, a blessed individual as he is, and he broke barriers and didn't mind breaking down things, and it didn't seem like, you know, we never know what people deal with on a personal level, but he broke barriers and continued to actually practice his art and show up in rooms and show up in places where Black people wouldn't normally be represented. So, you know, shout out to one of the greatest. You know, we say the GOAT, but I'm gonna say it out because his legacy deserves for us to call him one of the greatest of all times. And so, you know, his full life has actually shown us no controversy, no whatever, you know, and broke barriers in as far as he's concerned. So shout out to one of the greatest and the life that he lived, and to God be the glory, and bless his family in their time of mourning and sorrow. And I pray that they actually look up and see the things that he has done, and see that he is represented well, not just his family, and not just his community as Black people, but this country and the world. So shout out to the greatest, man.
Shout out. So with that question that Ross put forward, like, do you feel that there's somebody in, you know, everybody would have been 75 from 1975 until now? I'm looking at it in that aspect. So you're looking at 75, 74 until now. Is there a person out there in our community that really kind of pushed things forward, or that you saw was a representative of moving the community forward? What do you think, Roz? Did you have anything pop in your head, or Will, if you ask somebody else?
Well,
yeah, go ahead, Will.
Well, the one thing I can say as far as that is, I look at it like so back in those days, we didn't have social media. We didn't have, you know, the platform that we all are capable of using at our disposal just from the tap of a phone. Right. So when you have somebody of that importance and of that power, and, you know, you're going to gravitate towards that because there is no other, I guess, choice to make. Whereas to now, when you have social media, you have so many people who can portray that they're about those causes. They can portray that they're about those good intentions. But you got so many choices. Now these kids don't know who to choose from. So that's why it's like, I guess to answer that question, we don't know who, because there's so many people out there. Who do they choose from? Who's the right one? Who's not the right one? Whereas to back in those days, your mama and your daddy let you know who you were supposed to, you know, follow behind. You know what I mean? Your mama and daddy guided you and told you that's who you look up to. That's who you respond to. That's who you respect. When you hear this man talk, you listen. When you hear that woman talk, you listen. You don't have that no more. Now everybody get on social media and press play, and they can watch TikTok.
Yeah. And the thing about that, with it, you know, the thing that we don't look at is that it's all about how you approach the situation as well. You know, there's so much information out there, and there's so much misinformation out there. So I think our fathers back in the day, the way they handled injustice, you know, was different from how we handle injustice now. You know, and we try. Don't get me wrong. There we march, we do our things, but with social media, like you said, it's a different platform. It's a different platform. It's different than walking down the street and getting sprayed with water. You know, it's different than sit-ins. You know, you used to do sit-ins back in the day. You know, these days is a lot different. You know, there's violence involved in a lot of situations. A lot of times our situations get, you know, us in more trouble, you know, and like I said, I guess what I want to say is we have the power to, and what I'm saying, the power and the platform to get us where we need to be. It's just all about learning how to present that, you know, in a way that people learn. You know, the platform doesn't mean we go out there and, like, for example, we didn't raid the you know, what's Congress, or what was it? What was it called? What was the day when they did the raid? What's it called?
Oh, you talking about when they went in and they
what's it called? But it's called, it had a certain name.
Insurrection.
Yeah, insurrection. We didn't, you know, we weren't a part of that. You know, it was a couple of sprinkled in there, but it wasn't. And we have to understand that had we done something like that, there would have been a lot more deaths. It would have still been a lot more people in prison. It wouldn't have been no probations and this person got 6 months and blah, blah, blah. No, we would have been in prison for years on end had we. So we have to understand, and we have to teach our youth that, you know, our situation is different. You know, the laws don't apply to us the same way the laws apply to other people, you know, because of our intimidating demeanor. For example, you know, as a black man, I'm 6'3", 250. You know what I'm saying? Automatically, when I get pulled up by the police, guess what? They fear for their life. Now I got to watch everything I say. I got to watch how I move. I got to watch everything about this transaction so it doesn't go wrong. You get what I'm saying? So we had to teach our youth there's a different way to approach how we address our, you know, our freedoms and our right to, you know, move forward as minorities or whatever. And so back to the original question, you know, I'm not sure we have a lot of, you know, people these days that can fit those shoes. There's not a current Martin Luther King. There's not a current Malcolm X. There's not a current, you know, so many, like a lot of people that died already, passed away. So who do we got? Who do we have now that stands up for the people? You know, we have Black Lives Matter, but guess what? Then that got tainted. You know what I'm saying? They got tainted by something that didn't even matter to anybody but them. You know what I'm saying? So who stands up for the people now? And that's, go ahead.
I would say that you know, in you know, there was a couple of things in there where, you know, I would never say that it's easier now than it was when you had dogs chasing you, getting sprayed, and you had everybody.
Oh no, it's not easier. No.
You know, so I would always look at it as the information on the way that you're supposed to do it is not getting passed down due to the fact that those that went through it were trying to get people away from it. And it was a situation where, hey, we got to the stepping stone. Now it was you know, we went from, all right, the inner city to, or suburbs, all black neighborhood, everybody got to live together, to, okay, some people going to college, we making some money. Now people are being able to move into other different types of neighborhoods. And it turned into, hey, we're getting closer to, you can be anything that you want in this country, right? So you had more people that was more acceptable and things like that. So the don't rock the boat type situation of, you know, hey, you had to rock the boat back in the 50s and 60s. We got to rock it. Got to rock the boat because nothing is going right. You know what I'm saying? Randomly, you doing nothing wrong. Randomly, folks is getting shellacked, killed, blah blah blah. It got to a point where like, hey, parents are doing better, folks is doing good, everybody's kind of in the neighborhood. You still have your normal every once in a while racial things that happen, but it's like, hey, you fight through it because life is getting better, things are getting better.
True.
Right? You know what I'm saying? And so I think that was a thing that didn't get passed on, right? So you had things like she said, Al Sharpton, you had Jesse Jackson that during the 80s, 90s, that time frame where it was okay, somebody was still relevant from Dr. Martin Luther King time frame. Those gentlemen are old, and that information of knowing how to be that activist, getting into that political area, being able to do those things, that didn't get past anybody.
What's his name? What's the lawyer name that represents
Crump, Benjamin Crump.
Ben Crump. I mean, he's a guy that I kind of respect what he does, a little bit as far as,
I would just say in that aspect, because that as of that type of stature has not gotten passed on, because Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton's stature of being those people was because they were attached to Martin Luther King. And they were ones after he died, they were continuing on the steps. There wasn't anybody that came up with them that is continuing on the steps. So now there's a gap, because now you have not only the gap of not telling anybody, but you also have the age gap. Because then you got, hey, I ain't listening to this old dude. He don't know about blah, 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 yada, yada. So then it's being recreated custom by whoever's there. Now you have a digital platform that anybody can be there. Yeah. And then you also have a digital platform that automatically can take you down, because if you don't do everything perfectly, you're instantly can be like, you're out of here. Just
so
like
let me ask you this.
You know what I'm saying? So it's
let me put a couple names out there for you real quick. So, and matter of fact, I'm gonna ask you, Clex, and put these names out there, and y'all tell me what y'all feel about. How do you feel they connect to what we're talking about? 3 names. Since we're music. J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, KRS-One. What you think, Clexton?
I think, first of all, Chris fits the mold of what Lofton was just saying. Hayes is saying, because to be honest with you, if you look at what's current, Chris is one of those old guys. If you get at what you're saying, with this is concerned, absolutely. Chris has got a great voice. Chris is very conscious and actually talking about it. Kendrick Lamar, to be honest with you, I'm gonna tell you over the last.
We know you don't like him.
Okay, 10-4. Very little bit. We've already talked about the fact that I don't listen to very much. One or two things that he says. Okay, all right, okay, cool.
He don't like Pulitzer Prize winner artist.
Stop it, J. Cole. J. Cole, I'm in there. I mean, I like his message. I like the way that his intelligence and the way that he delivers. But to measure those two gentlemen into this conversation, I'm going to agree with portion of what you said earlier, and also a portion of what Lofton said. There is not a carryover. These gentlemen that actually go forward now, and then I'm going to kind of be controversial in what I say after this point. This is, you don't have a whole bunch of people that are weighing into the conversation because, number one, nobody wants to be a part of what they call this snitching, whatever. So in order for us to not be a part of the conversation, then we can't tell on ourselves as to what's actually going on. So a lot of people shy away from the conversation where it's concerned. If you find out, you find out. If you don't, you don't. And that's the detriment to the future. We're not passing information on because nobody wants to be the one that tells that, hey, we're doing it wrong right now. Unless you just want a platform about coming for somebody or coming at somebody. And that's unfortunate because we had people that did not matter. It did not matter. Dr. Martin Luther King, it did not matter what they said about him. He was going to go at them saying that, hey, listen, this is what's wrong. And this is what we got to do to fix it. Way back in the day, the church was the Center for Social Justice for the Black community. The church has the respect that the church garnered years and years ago. People don't respect the church anymore. The most hated group of people in the entire world is the Christian community. Everybody else is protected. Everybody else is protected.
But why is that?
The reason is because, we used to actually say in the Christian community, hey, what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. And I can't offend the HIJKL and the P's. And I also cannot offend anybody else where that's concerned, because I'll get canceled. This is what Brother Lofton was just saying. I'll get canceled if I offend because I say that the word says this and that's the way that it is. It's not that I hate anybody. It's just the fact that the way that I say it, people don't like it. And so, in fact, and then there's the shying away of Christian values in any aspect of the world. I can't do that. You hear some of my favorite artists. One of my favorite artists, and I'm not going to call his name because we are on a podcast here, says the art of Christianity, the art of not doing something was brought to us by Christianity, which was given to us by our oppressor. Only a portion of that is correct, because Christianity wasn't the beginning of the real word, the way, but we don't dig into that. So what we do is we shy away from something that gives you that right is right, wrong is wrong, and this is where I stand. There's only a few people that stand for what's right and what's wrong. Even in law and people who study and practice law, it's not what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. It's what I can convince you to believe, and that's what the problem is. That's a part of the problem.
So let me ask you this. So you don't. I kind of and I agree with what you're saying, but do you feel like, because you say what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong, and what I can get you to believe, the church is in that same realm, in a sense, because you have, like you said, you have leaders that aren't right, and you have leaders that are. You have bad apples in every situation. So I kind of feel like in the church's situation, there are bad apples that are bleeding over, that are tainting people's beliefs because of how they're. And like I said, for example, you watch TikTok, and there are certain pastors and religious leaders that are on TikTok doing things that they say is wrong, but like I said, it pays the bills.
100%. 100%. So what I'm saying is, without regard to actually who's saying it, it's not about who you represent, even though it does come down to who you represent, because people actually look, you represent this community and you're wrong, then I'm not going to believe in that. The truth is, there is a right and a wrong. There is a true north and a true south. I dare you to get on I-95 and head north and try to reach Dallas, Texas. It ain't gonna happen until you eventually take a left and go west. And then you're gonna have to take another left and go south in order to reach Dallas, Texas. The bottom line is there is a true right and a true wrong. The question is, when are we as a people going to stop and actually state and actually stand on the fact that there is a true right and a true wrong? I'm gonna pause for just a second. I'm gonna go back as far as activism is concerned. I'm gonna take a brief second to say this. Shout out to Brother Harry Belafonte, who is and who was my brother in Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. I had to say that too. Anyway, but the activism that was involved in, I had to do it. The activism that was involved in putting on, and all of these brothers, whether they represented a fraternity or represented the church, Muslim, Christian, whatever. For instance, the Million Man March came along not because of a Christian brother or not because of a Muslim brother, but because of a brother, a person who decided that there is a true north and a true south, and we have to reach a point to where we understand as black men that we have the power and the responsibility to point out the true north in order to get there.
And I like the true north and your true south situation, but that's only true if perspective is not a part of the scenario. So when there's a perspective, perspective is a part of the scenario. Like, for example, there's no perspective of north and south or east and west, because we know for a fact, no matter which way you go, if you go east, you go east. No matter what Will's perspective is, you know what I'm saying? It's still, that's a true, like you said. But when you talk about humans, it's about perspective. You know what I'm saying? I can read the Bible, you can read the Bible, Will can read the Bible, and our perspective can be totally different from
a million different denominations.
Once we get to the end, you know what I'm saying? We all love God, and what I realized by traveling the world is so we all worship God, regardless of what religion you practice and whatever. We all come back to the same God. You know, and with that being said, like I said, if you take perspective out of the scenario, then there's a lot more questions. So you lose a lot of people. And all these people that talking about they woke, oh, I'm woke. No, you're not woke. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what that means. You know what I'm saying? Yo, we're woke. I'm woke and blah, blah, blah. Whatever. It don't mean nothing. What you need to find, like I said, what you need to do is you need to find God. You know what I'm saying? Find, like I said, because that, for me, that's what can get me in the right direction. When I have my relationship with God, like you said, Clexton, the relationship with God is what's gonna get you true north, get you true south. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But then you got a lot of people, like I said, in the industry that bring perspective into the play that ruffles feathers. I guess that's what I'm saying.
Brother Rod, you were the one years ago that told me, you know, when you kind of changed your ways and said, you know what, God has put me on a path to understanding who He is and what I need to know and where I need to go. Brother, when you started traveling the world, even after you got out of the military and you started working in these other environments and said, wait a minute, there are some times in some cases where people may look at people who worship differently and not understand that just because they call God a different name, they don't worship the same, that they don't worship the same being. There are those who worship something else and somebody else. And for those people, it doesn't mean I love them any less, but I disagree with them because of what my beliefs and what things that I've taught and things that God has shown me shown me of. And then at the same time, there are some people who worship the same God. It's just that their idiosyncrasies and the things that they did to get to God were a little bit different. It was you, and I've never said that to you until right now. It was you that said, listen, you can't just turn everybody off because God is who God is. And learning that some other nationalities may worship God differently. It's the same thing as in this country. We got Baptist, Methodist, Episcopal, and the partridge in the pear tree. But if we don't get to the fact that there is one true and living God and that there is deity and He created us all, then we got a problem. And then at that point, when you start worshiping the cabbage head, then, hey, look, I got to tell you something different. But everybody doesn't do it that way. And I'm telling you, my brother, who was the one that actually pulled me up on that one.
So Will, let me I'm gonna give Will the last talking points on this. You know what I'm saying? I want to allow him to be a part of the podcast.
Well, my thing is I guess so the question is who's gonna be that person to like bridge the gap and actually be the person to, you know, bridge this generation together so we can all come together, regardless of what your skin color is or what your religion is. Because I believe that I believe in God. I believe in God, but I believe in my worship towards God is just my good orderly direction towards the end goal for me to meet heaven. Regardless of what, I'm not going to knock another man for how he goes about his religion, as long as he's got good intentions behind and he's trying to reach an end goal. That's his legacy, what he leaves behind, and where he's trying to reach once he passes. It doesn't matter who they pray to. I pray to my God. They pray to their God. That as long as there's good intentions behind it and you're trying to reach a good end goal, then who cares? It's the moment when you start praying towards something that starts leading you towards a dark path and you're missing the point. That's when you question who they're praying to or what they're believing in. And as far as the question that Raz says is when you put yourself on social media and you look on social media, like I said, there's thousands of people that you look forward to. These kids nowadays don't hear religion and they don't hear God the same way somebody would when you had your mama and daddy on you in a different time being. I believe so. These kids are different. It's a different generation. So they got a lot of people to look forward to. They got a lot of people to look at. They could have a bad day at school, come home and get on TikTok, and now everything that we didn't taught them in school, all the positive messages that we didn't taught is out the window. You got so many open doors and avenues for these kids to make their own decisions and their own choices that it really based upon what I agree with what you said in the original statement is the generation before it was passed down knowledge. It was passed down traditions, passed down ways about going upon things, regardless of what religion you was in. You could pray to Allah, you could pray to God. It doesn't matter to me. What is your intentions behind your worship? That's what I want to know. What is your intentions behind your worship? If your intentions are negative and not good, and it's a negative vibe, then I don't want to be involved in what you pray to. You are who you surround yourself around.
For sure. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the sermon right there. It was fantastic. And if y'all forgot out there, we was talking about Harry Belafonte. See, like his activism has taken us down the rabbit hole.
The devil thought it had me.
We don't, you know what I'm saying? Once again, you know.
And that he was a Sigma. Anyway.
Open door.
And that he was a Sigma.
Yeah, so once again, you know, RIP, blessed in peace. Blessed in peace to Harry Belafonte. And now we're about to go to the most ratchety thing ever. Oh, it's Glorilla.
Glorilla, man.
Rada?
I cannot stand her.
Glow whatever.
Yeah, thank you. I cannot stand her.
So this is my whole thing. So you know, I was hoping that Aaliyah would have been on here. You know what I'm saying? Because this could have been a thing. But Glorilla had a declared FNF. I mean, y'all know what that is. But
fuck nigga free
holiday when her song came out last year on April 29th. So she implored all the people that enjoyed her song to do what they did in the video. It was a fuck nigga free day, and they was supposed to stop at stoplights and you know what I'm saying, I guess, you know, pop it, do a little thing with it, you know what I'm saying? So how do you feel especially like with Glorilla, and of course you have others before that, Nicki Minaj and I mean, Little Kim kind of started the whole role with it, but she was a singular thing. Like, how do you feel that the I guess this would be kind of in the feminist type push in hip hop, not necessarily hip hop, but just being a do whatever, be that, the ratchet, the twerk. Like, how do you feel about that whole run of things is affecting the
ratchet, the twerk?
Is affecting young ladies in the future. Like, how do you feel like that's affecting young ladies in the way that they're perceived as they're growing up, and the things that they feel are different? Roz, what do you feel? I know you like Meg the Stallion, so I mean, you know what I mean. Like, I know you like watching.
So, this is me, like as a girl dad, dad to girls. You know, of course, you gotta teach your girls to respect themselves. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't tell my daughter not to go out and listen to Glorilla. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't tell her not to go listen to Meg Thee Stallion. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't feel that's going to make or break her as a person. Like, for example, my youngest daughter is 21, my oldest daughter is 27. And they both probably listen to Glorilla. But they're both well-rounded women who are not in the streets. They're not ratchet. You know what I'm saying? You know, it don't mean they don't celebrate fuck nigga free day or whatever it is, blah blah blah. Yeah. I don't think my daughter gonna go to work and be like, call in, be like, I'm off today because it's F and F day. You know what I'm saying? She's like, I ain't come to work because it's F and F day.
Hey.
Fuck nigga free. Like, what does that even mean? Like, what do you do? You know what I'm saying? But I will say, you have to, as parents, we have to teach our children, you know, and when I say teach our children, you know, like I taught my daughter the game. I tell her, like, hey, this what guys do. This how guys are. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I know, Will, you got a daughter. Lofty, you got a daughter. You know, and even you, Clexton, that have sons or whatever, we have to be the guardians of the galaxy, per se. And meaning that, you know, if you teach them the game, or if you teach them, you know, right from wrong, we have to trust that they're gonna know better than to go out and stop at a stoplight and, you know, celebrate FNL Day or whatever. I personally think it's some bullshit. But hey, you know what I'm saying? But you know what? I can't say shit. It's Clexton out of everybody know this.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't Don't
mess
do
up his
it.
Hey,
congregation, man. Don't
but,
mess up
hey,
his
you remember?
congregation.
Hey, y'all remember Magic Mike and all that shit dropped?
I hate
Man,
those.
we used to be at the
I
goddamn.
was
We be at the stoplight. The shit turned red. Dropped. We be out the car dancing in the middle of the street.
we hop out. Hey, listen, we would hop out the bug, and I had them doggone 15-inch woofers in the back of the. We hop out at the
Man.
stoplight and get it in for a good 3.5 minutes.
Did y'all ever ghost ride the whip? Huh?
It
Like,
No.
hold up, like,
It wasn't never no
you know.
fuck nigga free day.
My man said,
But
"Ghost
I'm
ride,
saying, but
Yeah,
I will
ghost
say,
ride the whip.
ghost ride the wheel."
ride the whip. So, hey, but honestly, the real talk though, like, you know, like we have to. This is me as a parent. You have to trust your kids to a certain extent after you teach them the game. If you teach them to trust. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess teach them and then trust that they're gonna do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? If you get to the point where your daughter's twerking in church or something like that, then you might want to pull her to the side and tell her you're gonna whoop her or something like that.
That's a little much.
Yeah.
So talk to me, Will, knowing with some of the music and stuff that's out, you know, and same on the gentleman side. You know, we have got, you know, gangster rap and things of that nature, but of course we talking about Gorilla and kind of that run of what's been taking place. So like what is your perspective on that and the effects?
So my thing on that whole where she said that, what is it, the F, the what now, the
F and F. It's it was her first song that like went hard, and it was "Fuck Nigga Free." That's the name of the song, and so
and
they
you wonder
in
why
the video.
and you wonder why we got so many girls living on Section 8 housing right now.
Cause they fuck niggas free.
Because they live in that right there. Think about what she said though. Think about the magnitude of what she says when she says that. Now, Raz, I agree with a portion of what you're saying. I guess my perspective on that is, I guess where I can kind of my question to you is so Glorilla is a rapper who came out, and your daughters are grown. What was to, if you have a younger daughter who's in her room, you know, you trust in her to do what she do, but they gonna find their source and they gonna find their avenue to look for what they look for and find what they find. And there's only so much trust I can give her before I say, oh, hell no, I don't like you listening to her. I don't want you listening to her. And I'd be damned if I catch you listening to her. That's just on my opinion, because I believe my thing is music has been a instrument and where I've gone in my life. I mean, music is so important to your mood and what you do and how you go about things. Let me tell you something. Jeezy done messed it up for a lot of people. Jeezy messed around and had everybody thinking they was dope boys.
Snowman.
You understand what I'm saying? So why she can't have that same influence on? Why she can't have that same influence on young teenagers? I don't want my daughter stepping out the house with her shorts. Even Glorilla her voice is deeper than mine, and she thinks she a dude. I don't. You know what I mean? Like I get what you're saying as far as, you know, you.
Yeah.
My thing is when I see my daughter walk out the house and I see her with her shorts and they not to a certain length, I'm gonna say something to her right then and there. Now I'm teaching her whether she know it or not.
Yeah,
whether she know it or not.
Yeah, and that's
you know,
what I do.
she might not know it at the time, but when she get older, she gonna be like, "Oh, that's why Daddy was telling me don't step outside with my shorts like that." Because look how this man looking at me. Look how he looking at me.
Yeah,
you know. So that, I guess that's where I can't help it. Even I could trust her all I want to. I'm still gonna tell her pull your shorts down. I'm still gonna tell her.
That's
you know what I mean? So I guess my point. Yeah, my point to that is when I hear her say F. I don't even want to cuss because I'm trying my best. I've been trying good not to cuss. So the FNF free thing, you know what I mean? I'm so sick of hearing women talk about how they're free from a man, but then turn around and, you know, you need a man for this, or your man ain't there to take care of your child. Your man ain't there to be there for your kids. Your man don't want to come home. He can't even live with you because in order for you to stay at this apartment for free, you got to be on Section 8. Come on, man. That's the problem with these women nowadays. It's women like that that's going around saying I'm FNF free. Well, you need a man at the house to raise these kids. What you talking about?
Well, to be real with you, you can get you can for Section 8, you can pay a chick light bill and rent for a whole year for like $3.45. You go
That's my point. That's my point right there. So now she, instead of her shooting for bigger things, like somebody who's going into cybersecurity, somebody who's doing something positive with their life, now she's stuck in this Section 8 world, looking at this dude sell dope down the street, and he's shooting her $10 for her power bill, and he's shooting her $10 for this, and he's shooting all I got to do is stay there and trap out your crib. That's the problem with these women nowadays. I'm FNF free. That's bull crap. So you're going to go out there and teach your daughter to go out there and just hustle the thing that God gave her. That's the most precious thing on this world, which is her.
So let me ask you this, because you're from Miami, Clexton from Pensacola, and I'm pretty sure Hayes had heard it. Y'all remember back in the day, Uncle Luke. So remember Uncle Luke back in the day? So you proving my point even more. Listen, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. We as young men, this is why God gave us girls, unlike you, Clexton. God gave us girls because back in the day, when Uncle Luke came and popped that pussy on the line, we were the first one in there on the dance floor. You know what I'm saying? Riding out. Now we got girls, and we got to deal with it. You know what I'm saying?
So look, man, I'm gonna say that I'm really gonna hop off this one real easy. First of all, I don't like anything that Glorilla does. Let me say that out there. And you know, hey, anyway,
I agree with you, brother.
And this is not the viewpoint of the Mint Ketchup podcast. This is Rev C. Clexton J. Middleton in my own. So you want to come at me? I got 32 cents. You can get 3 of them. Anyway,
why you don't like Glorilla? Tell me.
Because she's a Glorilla. Anyway, so after that,
Glorilla ain't did nothing to you.
She hadn't done nothing for me either.
Maybe you're
Listen, as a man.
Maybe that song about you.
Shut up. So what? Listen, I'm sitting out here really because it's a beautiful Sunday afternoon. My brothers are actually here, and they hear the podcast going on. Both of my brothers got girls. I got nieces. God bless me with 3 boys, but I told my boys, and I've taught my boys and my nieces and people that are around me is that what you don't ever want to do is to reduce your worth by making statements or standing on things that don't represent your royalty. The Bible tells me that I'm a royal priesthood, set apart generation, a holy nation. You know, and I know that it takes a while for children to come into their own relationship with God where that's concerned, but to reduce who you are by making this anthem that says I'm FN. Wait a minute, that should be. And what's your definition of all of that? You don't even have to do any of that. If you have standards, listen, if you have standards, then you don't have to make an anthem because you exited from that. Then what you did was in the beginning, you represented what your village has shown you to represent as a queen, a young woman, a woman of standard, and you don't even have to actually deal with that in the first place. So when you represent yourself correctly, now every girl, every woman runs up against that, whatever it is. However, quit trying to tell for a woman to try to tell other women that you don't need a man for this, that, and the third. I beg to differ. First of all,
thank you.
What you need to do now, Cat Williams said, and I'm not one who prescribes to Cat Williams as a method of preaching my sermons, but Cat Williams says something about, you know, when you saying that when you saying that dudes ain't nothing, and you saying ain't no dude nothing, he said you need to figure out what it is about you that keep attracting ain't blank dudes. That is the business.
Let me say
that is the business.
So let me say this. I will say this. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm play devil's advocate. So first of all, she said she I'm gonna say it, she fuck nigga free, right? And you can't get mad because this lady fuck nigga free.
I ain't mad.
She is fuck nigga free. Once you start making millions, you fuck nigga free. If I start making millions, you know what I'm saying, and I'm single, I'm hot.
So it ain't no fuck nigga millionaires. I'm sorry, but I got to catch on that one. It ain't no millionaire who's fuck nigga.
What I'm saying. What I'm saying is for her, she don't have to deal with it no more. That's what she's saying. I ain't got to deal with fuck niggas no more.
No, but
You know
what? So my thing, what he's saying is how does she know who a fuck nigga who's not?
How about
What is
that?
her definition of that? How does she know who a fuck nigga who not? How does she know the nigga at the bus stop ain't a fuck nigga?
So do you know? So you know you ain't a fuck nigga, right?
I know that, but how does she know that?
She might know it too. She might say he ain't no fuck
Nah,
nigga.
bruh.
Yes,
Nah,
there's
bruh.
some fuck
That
niggas out
dude
there.
that's at the bus stop could be the that
I
dude that's at the
personally
bus
know
stop
some
could be
fuck
the best thing that ever happened to her. But in her mind,
I
that's a
know.
fuck nigga because
Okay,
he at the bus
let me ask
stop.
you this. Real talk. No, real talk. I know we got to go, but real talk. Real talk. You don't know no dudes
That's
who ain't
right,
shit.
D.
It's a lot of dudes who ain't shit. Real talk. Like,
Yeah.
so let me ask you this. If a dude was dating your daughter, right? And he didn't go to work, sat on the couch all day, playing PlayStation, whatever, didn't have no job.
That makes him a fuck nigga.
Exactly. And then your daughter get rid of him, now she fuck nigga free.
That don't necessarily mean that. Can I shut this down? Can I listen? Can I shut this down, bro? Lofton? Let me say this.
Look,
Let me shut this down just like this.
As the host of the Big Hit the Podcast, this is ridiculous.
It is.
We stayed on this way too long. So
Yeah.
you got 30 seconds, Rev.
I don't even need 30.
All right,
I don't even need 30. So here's the thing. The
we don't
whole
like Glorilla for
situation,
real.
the whole situation is figuring out what your standards are and not representing or not attaching yourself to anything that is not according to your standards as a queen. The end. And then all that FNF, you don't have to do an answer. It's over.
Same exact thing you said. She said she fucked nigga free.
And look at that. I just had to take over the podcast because I'm tired of talking about this topic. Y'all made this too ridiculous. It could have been 4 sentences and we could have been done. We all right now? We good? We back? We good?
Glorilla bring up some. Her voice deeper than mine.
Wow. All right, well, we moving on, man. I didn't know Gorilla could do that to this situation. So it got really aggressive in there. So we gonna keep it pushing. Hopefully this is not another long deal we gonna pop off on. But anyways, the red table was turned over, aka Red Table Talk canceled by Facebook Watch. And Nick Cannon calls it toxic. Do you feel like the Red Table Talk was a positive in the social landscape? Talk to me, Rev C.
2 words. Good riddance. That's how it works. Yes, to answer your question, and good riddance. That's what it is.
Fantastic. Roz, talk to me.
So no, man, I don't. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like she should be gone or whatever. She basically did the same thing we doing. You know what I'm saying? Putting our business out there, putting their business out there. You know what I'm saying? Just because they celebrities.
Like, I can say right now.
Like, but
Raz on the day.
I'm sure there's some stuff that is not on this podcast.
But bro, real talk though, like she doing the same thing we doing. You know what I'm saying? And in a sense of, you know what I'm saying, they just basically talking to people and putting their business out there. People like that. People enjoy that. I don't watch it, so I can, you know what I'm saying? I don't down what she doing. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't wish her no ill will, blah, 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 because I'm first of all, I don't watch the show. And I feel like I'm a firm believer that if you don't like something, don't watch it.
Don't watch it.
You know what I'm saying? If you don't like it, don't watch it. If you don't like the Kardashians, people are like, the Kardashians, then fuck all that. If you don't like the Kardashians, don't watch them. You know what I'm saying? You got a choice. We got free will. We had the free will not to watch something, but why would I wish ill will upon another black woman? Like Clexton just said, this is a black queen. Why would we wish ill will upon her show or whatever? Because, you know what I'm saying, she's a black queen. You know what I'm saying? So if she's a queen, then she's a queen no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Not just whenever. Just because a man slapped shot at somebody.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
You gave a full pass to anything. You said black queen full pass, and I'm like, ain't nobody got a full pass. So I mean,
not a full pass, but shit. But I'm just saying.
Nah, I agree with Raz on that one, bro. I really do.
Everybody has their whatever. If you know what I'm saying, they can do what they got to do, and just like you talked about, hey, as long as you're moving in a positive way, and you're trying to affect everything in a positive manner.
That's what
And
I'll say. It doesn't matter.
If your effect it starts to cause negative situations, then you go, maybe you should step back, reassess, and see if we can turn that around.
But what negative situation did she? You know what I'm saying?
I would look. That's her show, and those that participate in the show, they signed on to participate in the show. I feel that there was things that probably could have been spun in a positive light that kind of dominoed into other things. That's one thing that Nick Cannon was kind of talking about. It was like, hey, there was things that could have been handled the way not on the table, especially with their particular situation, not on the table. That could have been handled differently. That then coincide and kind of dominoed into other shit. So that's all I'm saying.
But who cares though? That's their business. It's not like they went out and said, Mariah Carey, fucking the president. No shit. They talk about their own business.
Did it affect somebody else? Did it affect
brother? They manufactured drama and then got angry. They manufactured drama and then got angry that everybody else weighed in on it.
I wouldn't say she manufactured drama. I wouldn't say she manufactured drama. What I would say is Will Smith got his butt on that show and put himself in that predicament. How he handles the situation and any negative situations that come before, after they get on. You already know what you're signing on when you get on there. So how can you manufacture something without you consenting to it? You got to consent to getting onto the show. Yeah. So that means there's nothing manufactured there anymore.
Black queens, and then we want to, you know what I'm saying? Because first of all, Maury Povich, drama.
That's on Will Smith. That's on him getting on the show and being less of a man and putting himself in that predicament.
Maybe I said it the wrong way. I said manufactured. What I'm saying is this is not news. This is not stuff that anybody else brought to the forefront except for them, they themselves. They put it on Front Street and then got angry after they put it on Front Street and people started weighing in. Then this dude ends up slapping the hell out of somebody.
He got angry. She didn't get angry. She didn't get angry. He got angry. He got up there and slapped Chris Rock. She didn't get up there and slap him. She got mad because Chris Rock joked about her hair. She didn't get mad about what they was talking about, the red table talk.
It was a culmination of everything that went on. When you stack stuff on top of stuff, they have been messing with Will ever since this whole August Alsina thing. This whole I was the one that put all of this.
What is the whole purpose of this podcast? We building men.
Yeah, that's the shit they brought though. If you say, look, I slept with August Alsina and I got a husband. Then guess what? That's the shit you brought to the table. Who gives a shit? I don't care. You know what I'm saying?
That's my point, though, brother.
The point is this, though. The point for me is it's a black business. It's a black network. Why wish ill will upon them? That's, you know what I'm saying? Because it's white people doing this shit all the time. So why wish ill will upon them? You know what I'm saying?
But I'm not saying wish ill will upon them. I'm saying recognize what you represent and understand what the fallout is from it. This podcast right here is we recognize what we represent and we recognize whatever the fallout or the benefit comes from it. That's the reason we temper what we actually put out there. That's the reason. I'm not getting ready to tell you what happened in my bedroom last night, at my house last night. It is what it is.
I'm gonna shot you. That's just know it. You call him a white ball head, I'm slap shot you. It's over for you. So shout out to Will. You know what I'm saying? Like shit, good shit. No, I'm just saying.
Listen, my thing is with the whole red table thing is she can do whatever she wants to. How you get up there on that show and handle it is up to you as a man. Your body language, your mannerisms, everything you do is you get up there, a man, woman, that's your choice. You get up there. I don't think she should have been banned because, like I said, I don't think she had.
She wasn't banned. That Facebook Watch is not making original content anymore. Show. So she's still looking to have that put somewhere.
So I believe.
So the thing is that. And my question was the red table talk positive for the social landscape?
No.
Yes.
Do you
I
feel like
believe
it was
so.
positive for the social landscape?
Because I don't think she had negative intentions behind it. Remember, in my beginning statement is, what is your intentions behind this? I don't think she got behind that red table and said, how I'm going to mess up people's lives today. That's not what her intentions was behind that.
I think like this. So
No,
I don't
think she did that, but I feel like it went off the rails when that happened, because it was one of those things. He was like, "Hey," just like you said, "Oh, no negative intentions to take anybody else's life off the rails," but for some reason,
it happened.
it was like, "Hey, let's
It's
do
what you're saying
me,"
is it happened.
and all of a
So
sudden,
what are you saying is the response afterwards?
it turned into.
Yeah.
I feel like this is me personally. I feel like that was something, especially in the reaction, because
I can agree with that.
That was the biggest part of the whole situation.
The reaction.
If they sat at the table talk, right? It was her and Will sat at the table talk. They talked about it. He never teared. He was just like, "Yeah, that's what went down. We did blah blah blah, yada yada yada." It was like boom, right? He sat there like he was almost sitting there like he heard it for the first time and had to hold his composure to not lose his mind. And I was like, oh, this is horrible. And like he's going through it. And it felt like from that point, it did not go well. And that was the personal thing that they did. And it was because you put it out, because you put it out on the Table Talk and your own show, it became everybody's business.
Somebody calling me, please.
You can't be mad when the dominoes start to fall. Because guess what? Hey, if that never happens, maybe he can brush off Chris Rock's blah blah blah. Maybe it's, but now he's like emotionally high all the time, because
that
guess what?
That just means he ain't got tough skin. You gotta have tough skin.
Tough skin, though.
Yes.
Tough skin, though.
Yes. If you, I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. The reason why I say that tough skin. Listen, the reason I say tough skin.
That's another level of skin.
No, bro.
I agree with you. That's another
level of skin.
Listen, if you decide to stay with her after you know she slept with him, then it's what you chose to do. Then you the dumbass. If you chose to stay with her, then that's on you. You gotta have tough skin.
I'm gonna channel my inner regime for a quick second. My inner regime, Stoney did not want to sleep with Nate, and she didn't want to rob the bank and set it off. However, and then Blair Underwood wasn't gonna be, he didn't really want for Stoney to be in Mexico when he called her after that. But that's what happened when it went off the rails. It went off the rails. She has the responsibility, though, as a producer and as the host of a show, to bring it back. When it got off the rails, then instead of reining it back in, she didn't. That's why I say good riddance.
She
but the thing is
dug the knife in, son. Like it was like
she started turning it.
You was watching a dude die on the internet, son. Like
Stoney
that was horrible.
Stoney didn't want to keep robbing that bank when she fell in love with the bank president, did she? She did.
So I can agree with both sides on this one. This one is kind of more like 50-50 to me. Like I agree with what you're saying. The reaction, it was almost like she was twisting it in his back. But I still feel if you put yourself in that position, then you got to be prepared for somebody to do this to you. You got to be prepared.
We don't know what this man knew. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what this man knew. You know what I'm saying?
That makes it.
We don't know what this.
So I'm like 50-50 on that one. I gotta find out more.
So why put it out in a show if we didn't? It makes it worse. That's my point. You continue to make my point.
I'm gonna tell you why. And we're gonna go move to the next. I'm gonna tell you why. Because first of all, people like us is nosy as shit. It ain't our fucking business. Who cares? It ain't our business. It ain't our business to judge this man. No, listen. No, let me finish. It ain't our business to judge this man. It ain't our business to judge her. Who gives a shit? If she messing with Argentina, who is now gay, that's on her. You know what I'm saying? If he chose to stay, that's on him. We got free will to move. This dude got money. I'm pretty sure Will Smith can have whoever he want to have because he got that paper. So why stay with her if he wasn't willing to have thick skin or whatever? You see what I'm saying? Fuck love, nigga. If you mess with love, What is this, Maury, bitch? He love her.
The
Like
podcast
what?
hey, me as a guest, and me as a host,
You are not the father.
I enjoy
That's it. That's love.
me. I don't know about my co-host.
Like, you,
that's not the
you fuck around on me. I don't give a shit who you are. This relationship is over. You know what I'm saying?
Man, yo.
I love you. Fuck that.
I enjoy love.
I love you from afar.
May the Lord watch between me and thee.
You in same situation, and your wife met somebody named August. Not April. August. It's over for you.
All right. On that note, Rosine don't like love. He said, "You know what I'm saying? Like you love." So
shit on me is over for you. Yeah, like this shit is out the door.
We gonna keep it moving. We gonna keep it moving. So we gonna keep it riding. That was a lot right there. Woo.
That's got Pensacola in them. I don't care nothing about no love.
Everybody out there's heard of the Fugees and whatnot. So we got a fugitive out here named Pras. And the Fuji rapper Pras found guilty of political conspiracy. I don't know if everybody understood what was going on with Pras of the Fugees, right? So,
hey, we is live. I don't know what you're doing. Talking about Will.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Oh,
so
yeah.
he was
live, man.
he was accused. Pras was accused of multi-million-dollar political conspiracy, spanning 2 presidencies, and was convicted on Wednesday after a trial that concluded testimony ranging from actor Leonardo DiCaprio to former U.S. Attorney Jeff Sessions. So it was a situation where there was kind of a lot that was popping off on this deal. So what some of the stuff that was going down is that he funneled money from a Malaysian financer to draw donors to Barack Obama's freaking campaign in 2012. And then also he was trying to manipulate a Justice Department investigation and influence a extradition case on behalf of China under the Trump administration. So my man had no political care or affiliation on that joint. So with this whole deal going on, man, do you Pras is on another level of black crime? Like I have not seen anything. Like I was like, that's another level of black crime in this situation. Like, do you feel that he wasted his crime? Like, do you feel like it should have been a better crime than what he just did? Talk to me, Roz. Do you think he should have had a better crime than this? Like, if the bruh's gonna give him that when he step in the cell with this crime? Like, talk to me, bro.
Yeah, I honestly, like I said, he wasted his crime. I mean, he could have had tax evasion, any damn thing.
Anything, boy, anything.
Yeah, he wasted his crime on this. Like he needed a do-over. You know what I'm saying? This ain't even no crime. Like is he? So let me ask you this: is he? He's not American, is he?
He is. Yeah.
So he is.
He's a part. Yeah. He's the one that was had grown up. I think he grown up in the island.
I think he's a U.S. citizen, though, right?
Yeah, I think he's a U.S. citizen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I honestly feel there was other crimes that really could have been committed.
Could have had better crimes. Better crimes.
Yeah. I feel like though it's one of them situations. For example, with Trump. It's one of those situations to where, we watch Pras be handcuffed, taken into custody, and blah, 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 right? And then you got people like Trump that was, walked in, giving coffee and blah, blah, blah. And, I don't think he needs to be handcuffed because he's a former president, blah, 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 whatever. I just feel like that's the same level of crime. You know what I'm saying?
You need that perp walk, just like
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think it's the same level of crime. I don't know how deep the charges go. I don't know what sentence, like what time the sentence, if they hold any significant time or anything like that. But I kind of feel like he need a do-over. Like he can't go to jail. He can't go to jail on them crimes.
There should have been at least like one murder in there. Cool,
You know what I'm saying? At least a bad check or something.
He had to get rid of somebody.
Hey, Damon said 20 years.
Ooh, yeah, you get that. I mean, it's not a simple thing, man. So
damn, was he dealing with a lot of money? Was it a lot of money?
He said 100 million. Now wait a minute. I didn't know it was 100
That's what I was about to say. Depending on the money.
Yeah. 100 million. So this. I'm gonna say this, and this is not the views of everybody on this podcast, but it's if you get 100 million for anything, right? And I was. No, let me not say that. I work for the government. Never mind.
Stop right now. Just stop.
I'm just saying, have your passport ready. That's just
all right, Will. We're gonna stop the federal employees from getting fired out here. So, Will, talk to me, man. What do you feel? You feel like you need a different crime, man?
Well, no, depending on how much money was involved, depends on whether he needs a different crime or not. I don't care what I get locked up for. If it's for $100 million, I tried. What you in here for the corner store? What, a half a pound? Pound or two? Bro, I'm dealing with 100 million, bro.
Yeah.
I got 99 problems and this ain't one.
That does change the factors a little bit. When you
get on my level,
money on that level. So, Reverend C, will this person be able to repent of their sins and make it into heaven? Well, I'm this crime.
The devil thought it had me.
I'm sure that he'll be able to repent, because this sin was not unto death. But I mean,
what's the ties on 100?
You got a ties on that 100 mil?
10%.
Give my 10 mil.
What's 10%? Like 10 million.
10%. That's it. 10%.
Keep the party going.
But true statement. I didn't even really know. Like when they kept saying he got convicted, I was like, "What is this? What is this? What is this?" I don't understand why he did what he did, but that's pretty much where I am, man. I'm like, wow. I'm really on a wow. So
he cares about politics a lot. I was surprised that he was such a political guy. That was
money is the root.
$100 million.
No, not money. It's the love of money is the root. Don't send me there. It's for the love of money is the root.
For the love of money.
And that's what it is. That's it, bro.
All right. Well, that sounds good, man. He's also
wait a minute.
He's also trying to get off of being
back up.
Yeah, I heard that, D. I heard that. They did say he was an FBI informant.
Well, he kept saying that he wasn't. He been arguing that whole point the entire time.
Look here, fellas. $100 million.
He's doing he's doing a white collar crime. That's a white collar crime. Like
just a white crime. Why can't it just be a white crime?
A white people crime. They're a white collar crime.
You said a white crime.
It's just a white crime, period.
Yeah, it's a white crime, period.
I heard that it was his admission. I heard it was his admission. D just said that he admitted it in court.
And so I'm not saying black people can't commit these crimes.
Yes, you are.
We're just not very good at it. I'm just
we're not never put in position to commit it.
It's like we can't be on time.
Look, I mean,
some of this stuff involves planning.
Being a member of the Fugees to freaking political crimes for $100 million. That's a large leap right there. That's
the least popular member of. You the least popular member of the Fugees. You should have thought about that.
Yeah.
My question is this, brothers. Let me ask you this: if he's an FBI informant, then what did he get as a result of him getting convicted and this whole 20-year sentence? I guess that's what they're imposing on him. What exactly did he benefit?
So this is probably all. So honestly, sure. I think this is not. I think if he was an informant, then basically what this is, this is a cover up.
Yeah, he ain't
you know what I'm saying? This is a cover up. They say, oh, he got arrested and blah blah blah. This is a cover up. He somebody going down. He might be involved in the Trump trial, but he going down. It ain't gonna be him.
That would be wild. Now that would be crazy if they had the pop-up chair out the floor and it was Pras. Like, it was
ready or not.
Like,
here I come.
You know what I'm saying? You'd be like, whoa.
gotta find you.
That would be extra crazy.
Yeah.
But,
that's the reason. That's the reason. I'm acting like D has. When we had the episode with D on, he was like, "Hey man, it's a whole bunch of this. That's a lot of smoke and mirrors." The reason I asked that question is this smoke and mirrors for something? That's all.
It is.
It sounds like that. Yeah.
It sounds like smoke and mirrors. And people who don't know no better, they're not gonna recognize it. But
don't you know good?
Yeah.
Anyway,
we
know.
know.
No good.
Sing the song.
You know what I'm saying? Boy, we gonna keep it pushing. Shout out to Pras, man. That 100 mil. That's a lot of dough, man. You was out there getting it. You know what I'm saying? Political game got that dough. That's what they always talk about. They got that money. He jumped into the right little area right there. But we gonna keep it pushing. And once again, blessed in peace. And he was mentioned earlier on the podcast. Rest in peace, blessed in peace. To the king of nonsense on TV. Jerry. That's that dude, man. Hey, Jerry Springer, Cincinnati news anchor, mayor of Cincinnati at one time, and an insanely popular TV show bearing his name, passed away at 79 years old. I'm going to ask a question. Do you remember your favorite episode of the Jerry Springer Show? And also, if you were on the Jerry Springer Show, give me the topic you would have been on the show for. Ross, talk to me, man. What was
Hey, first of all, somebody got feedback.
You got a favorite show?
Somebody got feedback.
And then give me the amazingness that would be the episode that you would be, or that you would want to be on.
I think one of my favorite episodes was a dude, man. He was sleeping with his girl mama, right? The dude was sleeping with the girl.
That's all the episodes.
Yeah, the dude was sleeping with the girl's mama, and the mama was like, "I'm in love with him. He can move into my trailer." I thought that was fun shit. He was like 18 and she was like 90, and he's like, he talking about she give me cigarettes out some shit. It was funny shit.
Oh, that's it right there, man. That sounds exactly like Jerry Springer.
Yeah, bro.
Exactly.
So for me, man, being on Jerry Springer, bro, oh Lord, I'd have had some Jerry Springer situations.
Like, what would be? Now, I mean, like, it don't have to be a situation you would be in, but what would be a fun Jerry Springer episode that you was on? Like, if you was just an actor, because after a while, I feel like they just started like, all right,
it was. I mean, it was all.
But it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what would be that show that you'd be like, okay, that's dope?
Yeah. I would say, if I was sleeping, I ain't gonna say that I was sleeping. With somebody that was sleeping with their wife's boss, like their wife's female boss, right? And the wife got fired because she some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So the wife, if you were sleeping with your wife's boss and the wife fired you, the wife's boss fired your wife, now you ain't got no money in the house, and you some bullshit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Like, it's a web. That's a web. That's a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? You need a lot going on for that one.
Yeah, that's Jerry Springer. That's Jerry Springer all day long.
Talk to me, Will, man. What was a favorite episode that you may have heard or watched on accident, or you was off work and all of a sudden it came on? You was like, yo, this Jerry kind of crazy. Talk to me, man.
Yeah, I can't remember a favorite episode because they pretty much all got to the point where it was like you kind of could start to predict what the hell was about to happen. You know what I mean? But I guess if I was to say if it, that's a hell of a question.
See, that's what I said. Like, you was about to say something, and then he was like,
"That's a hell of a question, there, brother." I guess I would say
my wife, so you better chill out.
I guess what I can say is I don't know, man. I don't know. See, that's some crazy stuff. I won't even, because now it makes me feel guilty if I would even think some shit like that. So you can't even say what I would get into. I would be like more. It would be on some Maury Povich type shit.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You are not the father.
There you go. There you go. He is not the father.
Start going crazy. That's what I would be. That would be me. Because I know. Listen, if I could go back, if I could think about it, before I met because I've been with my woman for what? So my son is 16. So I've been with her for what? We've been together for 16 years. 17. excuse me, 17 years.
Yeah.
And before those 17 years, I was a wild loose cannon. And I used to holler at a lot of women. A lot of women.
So very much you are not the father would be.
I was, yeah, you are not the father. Hey, side story. We was riding down Silver Star one day. And
hey,
my wife.
I'm going to give you the disclaimer. Remember, we on the internet.
Yeah, listen. Side story. It's a joke. It's a good one. We were riding, and the wife saw a lady, and she was walking with her child. And I don't know if you noticed, but I got some side knockers on the side of my head. These things be flapping. You feel me? So she saw a baby with them same ears. She said, "Hold up, boy." She said, "Hold up. It ain't too many people walking down the block with the mirrors like." Said, "I am not the father. I promise you."
These your kids right now.
Hey, you out there when they just like.
You know, I got 5 of them. I got 5 kids.
You about to tell.
Hey, Clexton.
Yeah.
Come on.
Tell me if you remember this Jerry Springer moment from me.
You get ready to say the same thing I'm getting ready to say. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You might, I remember
when both of your girlfriends showed up at the student union at the same time.
Nigga.
So you're saying this didn't start in Germany, huh?
Oh no.
Boy, look at him. No.
I remember I dated this girl when I was in college with one leg. And then I dated this girl with one leg. Listen, this shit funny as shit. So I didn't know she had one leg, right? So I dated this girl with one leg. Then I clowned about it after I found out, and she got mad. So about 15 years later, like 6 years ago, I was dating her sister, and she was like, "Oh, my sister got one leg." I'm like, "Oh shit." Then she stopped dating me because I was like, "This." You hurt my sister when y'all was in college. Oh shit.
Hey, that's Jerry Springer right there. That's it.
Yeah. See, Why you? There you go.
That is it.
Hey, listen,
that is Jerry Springer.
He had a couple Jerry Springer episodes. We were at the student union one day, and both Rajine's girlfriends showed up at the same time. And me and Dee were trying to get this dude out of there. It was really, really horrible.
Wow.
Hey, wasn't they the same church choir or something? Oh.
It was horrible.
I didn't know they was church choir. I didn't know they was in the same church choir. They was though.
Oh man. Well, that we learned a lot.
Hey.
I learned never diss the woman with one leg.
Yeah. See, we all had a Jerry Springer episode at least one point in our life.
You got a leg up on me.
You got a leg up on me.
My bad.
So was dude. It was definitely terrible.
My God.
Yeah,
all right.
Up on me.
That's wild. All right, man. Well, hey, you
that was awesome.
Man, I can't even. I mean, hey, you went above and beyond to make sure that segment.
You can't top that one.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Jared. That was for you, Jared.
Oh yeah, R.I.P. to Jerry Springer, man. You should have had Rajim on the show before you rolled out, man. Well, hey, man. Hopefully everybody enjoyed the news of the week, man. We got some good laughs and everything that went on, but now it's time for the top almost 4 of this week. Yes. And so I just went ahead and decided, hey, we had a little Fuji life, had a little Fuji-ness in the run of the news. So I went with the top almost 4 best Fuji solo songs. Make you think a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So I mean, this is gonna be a list that has to deal with my personalness. But we got honorable mentions out there. We got Wyclef Jean, Staying Alive. His joint was getting it popping. He used a sample from Staying Alive and did his little deal. Pras was on there. And I forgot who was the other person that was on that song. You had Lauryn Hill, X Factor, off of her Miseducation to Lauryn Hill. Fantastic song. Wyclef's 911 that had Mary J. Blige in there. And then you had Lauryn Hill's Doo Wop, which was, I think, the first single that she had that came off of that joint. So the Doo Wop was pretty popular. So this is my top 4 Fuji solo songs that I enjoy. This is my personal opinion. Number 4, you can't go wrong because it had one of my crushes that was actually on this song as well. And that was Pras Ghetto Superstar. And Maya was.
I thought you saying Pras was
no.
your
I said, nigga, I will call Jerry right now, resurrect him, and find your one-legged chick and be right there.
Yeah.
Anyways, Pras Ghetto Superstar had Maya and Old Dirty Bastard on it, featured. They were on the song as well. So, you know what I mean? Then you had Wyclef Jean at number 3 with Gone Till November. I'll be gone till November. That was the joint.
Yeah, okay.
Then the next 2 are Lauryn Hill joints. So, Everything is Everything. Everything is Everything. That was a joint. And then my favorite, because it kind of a very good song, but also reminds those that have kids, Zion. Zion was a really good song. Like Zion, it kind of it kind of touched you because it's talking about her having a kid, but then also it's kind of it has a duality of like a new place, a new life, a new deal. So it kind of hits both sides of it. So at number 4, I had Pras with the Ghetto Superstar. At number 3, Wyclef Gone Till November. Number 2, Everything is Everything, Lauryn Hill. And number 1 for me is Zion. Lauryn Hill. Yeah, so what y'all think of my top 4? And this is the top almost 4 best Fuji solo songs.
So I kind of feel like you missed one.
What's that?
Yeah.
That 911.
Okay.
Someone please call 911. That's Dave. So Dave.
I mean,
yeah.
I look, it was in my honorable mentions, man.
You know what I'm saying?
But
was it in your honorable mentions?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's him and Mary J. Blige. That was in my honorable mentions. It just wasn't. I liked Going Till November more than 911. Just me personally.
And what's that song he had with that girl Sarah or something? Man, the girl that was on Making a Van had a song with Wyclef. I can't remember the name of the song though.
No, was he just a feature or was that?
I think it was his song and she was featured on it.
I'm not sure on that one because a lot of the ones that I checked that I enjoyed of his music were literally like the first 2. It was like the Carnival and the Eclectic. Well, like the first 2 albums that he had was really the ones that I enjoyed some of the music of. But he wrote a ton of joints that everybody liked.
I would have liked it.
And all type of other stuff.
Yeah, that one with Carlos Santana was nice too.
Yeah, Carlos Santana.
But I would have liked to have seen that the one with Lauryn Hill and D'Angelo. Nothing even matters.
Nothing even matters. Nothing even matters. Good. Like I went back and I started listening to the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, and I was listening to it, and I was like, this album is insane. Like that album is insane, and it's one of those where you just go like, I understand why people put Lauryn Hill as a most anticipated if she ever comes out with anything, because listening to that album, like going back, I haven't listened to it in a while, but you listen to that album, you're like, there is not a bad song, and she sings amazing.
Yeah,
and all of her stuff is like thought-provoking. Like it's like thought-provoking, inspiring. It's like ballads. It tells a story. It's like inspirational. Like nothing is bad about the music that she puts out. It's not like, this dude shit on me and I fuck him and that. It's like all about like
old
love, being free. Better. Like it ain't fuck nigga free. Like it ain't fuck nigga free. It is not that.
What if Lauryn Hill come out with a remix? I'm F-N-F-R-E-E, fuck niggas.
Put your shoulders in.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You'd be like, whoa. That's
like, damn, Lauryn Hill tripping.
So Rev, man, what do you think of my list?
I like your list, man.
I like.
My bad.
I like your list. I'm gonna say like even your honorable mentions were great. I think that like you said that nothing even matters. I think I would have slid it into the top 4. Zion is the business. I probably would have replaced. I would have slid everything back, pushed 2, 3, and 4 up to 1, 2, and 3, and then put number 4 as actually nothing even matters, and Zion would have been in my honorable mentions. That's how I would have done it.
I agree with that. Yeah, because nothing even matters.
I can't really disagree with that list, bro. I like that list. I can't even think of. There's another one, and I'm trying to think of. Are we missing one? Is there one that we're missing that we? I know. The Buffalo Soldier, Dreadlock Rasta.
See, but the thing is, you don't want to start mixing Fuji stuff in with personal stuff. That's the whole deal.
I got you.
Like that's why I was trying to get solos where
yeah.
My head,
that's why I say it's hard to argue with that one.
Yeah. Why you didn't? Why Pras in it? Why you put Pras song on there?
I did put a Pras song in there.
What song was Pras?
Ghetto Superstar.
Oh, I thought that was White Club. Okay, my bad. I thought it was White Club.
No, but that's how I had it. Number 4 was Ghetto Superstar. That was his one hit that he had after coming off. Gone to November, people still reference it. That's why it's like, also I put it in there because people still reference that song as of Gone to November. That is in a thing. You know what I'm saying? People.
But has anybody ever came back in November?
I mean, your favorite rapper Lil Wayne talked about it.
He came back in November.
He talked about he gonna be gone to November.
Gone to November.
Like that's what I was like. Hey,
That's a hell of a month to come back, though. I just kind of feel
before Christmas.
I'll be back in April.
You just don't want to buy presents. That's what that is. He was like, you ain't getting none of these, bro.
Yeah. I'll be back by February.
Just in time for spring break.
Right after Valentine's Day. Fuck love.
I'll be back.
He said
right after Valentine's Day. Fuck love.
I'll be back for St. Patrick's Day.
February 16th.
He's like, I'll be back for St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Say this shit.
Black Irish.
I'll be back before the groundhog see his shadow.
Yeah, that's shit.
Before that last Easter snap, that winter snap.
Yeah.
That Carlos Santana was dope. Also,
who was that? I remember that.
I like that D. I like that D. I really do.
Yep, that's a good song as well. So, hey, man, she did some good stuff, man. Good stuff out there.
Did she do something with Nas?
I think. But all the stuff it wasn't featured. Like I was trying to get featured.
Oh, okay.
The thing she did with Nas was lately though. That's been in the last few years. The thing she did with Nas.
Yeah. So I mean, it was all. Those are all the things I tried to pull were the features, and most of the feature stuff was happening from '97 to 2005. Yeah. So it was all early, and also Wyclef stuff was things that he was performing. Was his stuff that I enjoyed was during that time frame compared to things.
Yep, there you go. That's the one I was talking about. If I rule the world,
but that's not
imagine that.
You know what I'm saying?
That's also not
free on my son.
I love him, baby.
If you would be mine, we both shine.
But also, that's not her song. I was just saying. But that's good though. When we make a Nas list, maybe it'll make it. Hey, it'll be dope. So good stuff, man.
Imagine smoking weed in the seats. Oh, my bad.
You was really going at
Yeah, my bad. You said something about Nas. I was like, imagine smoking weed in the streets with no cops around.
You said you getting it popping, huh?
My bad. I had a flashback.
All right. King's Disease 3. Go get it. You know what I'm saying? It's out there. That's going to be hit. You know?
He said it's going to be hidden. Yeah. So it was decent. It was decent. Anyway. I like it.
All right. Good thing. Good stuff, man. I really appreciate. We had an hour about hour 50. Fantastic having Rev C on the show, having Will on the show. You are both, of course, invited back at any time you want to come through. Will, you want to come on as a guest. We want to do a deep dive. You know what I'm saying? See what's going on. You have to go through the gauntlet with us. Not really a gauntlet, but you have to go through it with us as one of our guests so we can do a full interview and check you out. Rajim, it's always a pleasure, sir. You know what I'm saying? They talked you up big time. I don't know about it, but they talked you up big time. So, you know, I guess I'll have to drink a check soda to that and check off on it. So you be good to go. You be good to go. Make sure you know the podcast. We got a couple sponsors. We got Rather Unique Barbershop. If you're ever in the Brandon area, go check them out. Get faded, fresh and clean. We also got LGI fitness gear. We got a couple LGI t-shirts that's out here. You know what I'm saying? Check them out. Hit up my man Roz in the mentions and whatnot if you want to get a Let's Get It fitness t-shirt. We got that out there. Also, we got Roz is out here with his other business. He's out there about to get you some game trucks.
You know what I'm saying? Just fun and games. Let's go.
Just fun and
hey,
games.
Clayson. Hey, I gotta say this too, Clayson. Just so you know, I haven't announced this yet, but your boy about to pledge Omega Psi Phi grad chapter. Let's go.
Oh Lord.
Like,
Right, exactly, Will. Hold on, time out. Hold on, bro.
Yeah, it's just bounce.
Omega Psi Phi grad chapter. Let's go. Yeah, I reached out to the chapter here close by. I did my application, all that good stuff. So I'm about to pledge grad chapter. You know
How old are you?
Okay, that's none of your damn business.
156.
That's what they call it, a grad chapter.
Just say it's old. Like, why?
Why can't I? Why you gotta be a hater? Why can't you pledge grad chapter?
I'm just saying why. How is this going to benefit
I ain't gotta tell you why.
Professionalism? And
because my mentor, a couple of my mentors are bros, and I feel like it's something I want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you do you, sir. Make sure you watch out for the paddle. All right.
Grad chapter. I said grad chapter, sir. Apparently, you.
I think everybody should get paddled.
You're not a brisk of how the grad chapter works. So.
No, I think you should just paddle Ross. That's it. Get him. Just him. Just do that. Just him. Special occasion. Make sure that you get the.
Oh, that's what's up, fellas.
But hey, I would enjoy everybody being out there, coming and hanging out with it. All those that came out and
Sigma brand
live, we really appreciate it. Like we said, this is episode 50. This is season finale. We're gonna be taking a break for about 4 weeks. We're coming back first week of June. So it's gonna be new and improved. We're gonna have a little different segments, little visuals difference. I think I'm gonna like tune up the intro music a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be we're gonna flip it up a little bit. Everybody have a wonderful beginning to their summer. Enjoy their families. Kids that's out there about to graduate. You know what I'm saying? Hugs and kisses. Fantastic. You know what I'm saying? Thumbs up. Go and do big things. To my man Roz. To Will. To Rev C. Really appreciate you being on the show and being with us. And we about to get up out of here. Ketchup Podcast, episode 50. End of season 2. We about to be up out of here. Love you guys.
Peace.
All right, brother.
God bless, brothers.